All right, yo. I would say the main thing that we need to talk about right now for anyone who hasn't been around for a while, who hasn't seen all the Image of the Beast stuff that I've put on this channel. I think that's the most important thing we can talk about right now, and it ties everything else together. It'll bring it all home for you, pun intended, wink wink. So this is in Tel Aviv. How I found this, I never even knew this thing existed, this thing that you're looking at, until a few hours ago. I was looking at that movie some more, that Leave the World Behind movie, and I was looking at the plot and some of the a few of the other movies that one of the main characters has acted in, and I stumbled upon that museum in Paris, in France. It's called the Louvre, Louvre, however you say that, like Louvre, or whatever. And there's a glass pyramid that's in front of that museum. But the museum, I guess, it's under, or it's a mall, a shopping mall or something, or museum, might be both. And it's underground in front of where that pyramid is. And there's a inverted pyramid that's going down. It's upside down, and it's going down in the ground. Maybe next time I'll bring a picture of it. I don't have it right now. You can go look at it. But there's a glass inverted pyramid that goes down into the ground. And inside the shopping mall and the museum, if you're down inside, you can see it coming down from the sky. And they use it as a skylight. And it comes down, and below it is another pyramid that's aiming up towards it. So there's one aiming down, one aiming up. Just like you're seeing right there. You see that image right there? If you go back to my videos, I probably haven't put enough of the information about it all on here. That's what I'm attempting to do tonight. If you go back through there, though, you'll see that and all like satanic blah 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 whatever, like whoever that guy was, Crowley wrote them books, and all them guys, they all talk about the hexagon, and that's what's on the people that are doing the smashing's flag. The people that are smashing over there, and that's all on the news, everyone's talking about their flag, right? It's a hexagon. And what that is, you can go anywhere and look into it, and you'll see it is explained as a triangle looking in the mirror at itself, just like the image that you're looking at right now. So it's the same as a yin-yang sign. One side's dark, the other side's white. That's where you get the as above, so below, all the black and white checkered floor stuff you see, like in the Masonic lodges. That's why their logo is a compass and a square. It's the same thing. It's a hexagram. So, and that represents the image of the beast. This is right. This is in Tel Aviv, and they have these all over the world apparently. And I didn't even know it. They have one in Phoenix. Go figure. And they're everywhere. But I stopped. I ended reading Isaiah last night in 46, and it's all right here. You're going to see this in Isaiah if you turn your ears on and you use understanding with what we're about to read. I'm going to read a little bit of this to you, and you're going to see what the image is and what's going on. You're going to know what's happening, and maybe if you've used your understanding and you've turned your ears on and you opened your eyes, maybe you'll have the power within you to come out of it, come away from the image of the beast, and find deliverance. And if you don't believe me, take the Most High's word right here in Isaiah. Let him tell you. Bel has bowed down. Nebo is stooping. Their idols were on the beast and on the cattle. That which is carried is burdensome, a burden to the weary. The image of the beast, everything that it has created, it's a burden. Everything about it, okay? What came from there was it's bigger than that, because you have to understand that they aren't who they tell you they are. That came about through the Balfour Declaration. That is Britain and the U.S., and they're all one entity, all the Western civilizations. That's why there's that upside down pyramid in France. That's why there's one at the Vatican. They're all together. They're all the same thing. That's why the Vatican's religion is based out of that place over there that's doing all the smashing. They created, and I was just reading this too, about the guy who invented the letter J. He invented the letter J and the letter V. And if you go into his Wikipedia and you look at that guy and read some of it, he invented the letter J and the letter V in order for a substitute of the letter Y and the letter U, which is in Yahuwah. If you take the Y away and the letter U away, then you have Jehovah, right? And that doesn't sound nothing like Yahuwah, and it doesn't mean the same thing. And they used it in the place of the I too, because in the beginning, the Messiah's name was Iesus, and they end up changing it to Jesus, which means Hail Zeus. Okay, so Hail Zeus, the name that has that everyone says, and they believe he's the Father, and they believe he's the Son, and every time they say his name, they say Hail Zeus. They celebrate all these holidays because of him. The story that him and the Father are the same, all that stuff has come from that place over there, that entity. And you're going to see them in here, but it's a burden. It is a burden. It's burdensome to carry this, and this is what's killing everyone, okay? They have stooped. They have bowed down together. They were unable to deliver the burden, but they themselves went into captivity. Listen to me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Yasharal, who are born from the belly, who are carried from the womb. Even to your old age, I am he, and even to gray hairs I carry. I have made, and I bear, and I carry, and rescue. Now this, I was just saying the other day that even if you're 98 years old and you are pushing a walker with the tennis balls on the front, and you got 63 cents in your pocket, not even, you can come to your deliverance. It doesn't matter how old you are. So any of you who hear this and you think that you're too old or you can't, don't put them kind of limitations on the Most High. And this is why. To whom do you liken me and compare me and make me similar that we should be alike? They pour out gold out of the bag and weigh silver on the scale. They hire a goldsmith and he makes it a mighty one. They fall down, they also bow themselves. They bear it on the shoulder, they carry it and set it in its place, and it stands from its place. It does not move. Though one cries out to it, it does not answer, nor save him from his distress. Remember this and show yourselves men. Turn it back, you transgressors. Remember the former events of old, for I am the Most High, and there is no one else. The mighty Most High, and there is no one like me. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from of old that which has not yet been done, saying, my counsel does stand, and almighty light I do. I calling a bird of prey from the east, the man who executes my counsel from a distant land. Indeed, I have spoken it. I also bring it to pass. I have planned it. I also do it. Listen to me, you stubborn-hearted. You are far from righteousness. I shall bring my righteousness near. It is not far off, and my deliverance, it is not delayed. And I shall give deliverance in Sion, my esteem to Yasharal. So when you get to when you read this chapter and you read all that about how they pour the gold, and remember, these are all parables. This isn't literal. This is how he sealed the word. And he says several times that it was meant for the latter days. This is how we're understanding it in the latter days, because there was no image of the beast back then. It wasn't made back then. Now, when you're reading this stuff about they pour out the gold and the silver, what are we? When we're to be refined, right? As gold and silver, right? That's what this is talking about. This ain't literal. This ain't talking about pouring out pieces of gold or silver or coins or whatever out of a bag. This is saying they set up a image and they convinced the world that was Yasharal. And I'm going to prove this to you. If you ain't believing this, I'm going to read the word and explain it to you. That's going to prove it beyond the shadow of a doubt to you that's what I'm talking, that this is true. They made that place with the Balfour Declaration in 1948, and they convinced the world that was the place. And out from it and from the people that made it, they created all these lies and deceptions. It was like the grand finale of making a golden calf. But I mean, in like the biggest sense of the word, like in the grandest scope. It's so much bigger than just a statue. It says the world has paid its reverence, its homage to this place, to them people, to all the lies. And that's why at the end, the last verse there, he says, my deliverance is not delayed, and I shall give deliverance in Sion, my esteem in Yasharal. Come down and sit in the dust, O maiden daughter of Babel. That's the daughter of Babel. That all them people, the UK, who made the Balfour Declaration, all that, they are Babel. They are the remnant of Babel. They are today what Babel has turned into. They've turned, it's the Kasdim, it's all them, and they have made that image, which is the maiden daughter of Babel. There's a reason he says maiden, and you're going to see. Sit on the ground without a throne. Who has a throne right now? So I was just explaining it to you. O daughter of the Kasdim, that's the Chaldeans, that's America. For no more do they call you tender and delicate. They're no more people. There ain't too many people wanting to call her tender and delicate, except for those people who stand with her regardless, that we're seeing the nakedness and her shame, their shame, because of what they're doing right now, right? Take the millstone and grind flour. What's the millstones? The millstones, that is the millstone represents the threshing floor. You know, if you looked at it as like the Messiah, he went to Jerusalem and he was brutally murdered there. We are to look to Jerusalem and we are to walk and follow the Messiah. That would be like going there, following him, doing what he did, following the commands, all these things. That is like going to the threshing floor and removing the chaff. So he's telling this daughter, maiden daughter of Babel, take the millstones and grind flour, remove your veil, lift up the skirt, uncover the leg, pass through the rivers. That's what's happening right now. It's been happening for a little while. Let your nakedness be uncovered. Let your shame also be exposed. I take vengeance and I meet no man. Our Redeemer, Yahuwah of hosts, is his name, the set apart one of Yasharal. Sit silent and go into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For no more do they call you mistress of rains. I was wroth with my people. He was wroth with his people when they did what they did, when they were home in the land in Jerusalem, and they had the slaughter place, the dwelling place, and all that, and they were happy, everything was intact. They celebrated the feast, that which is continual. When Passover, Pesach came, they came to Jerusalem and they ate the Passover lamb. They did all that, but when they pissed him off to past the point where he was wroth with them, he sent Nebuchadnezzar from Babylon in and tore everything down and took them all off captive. That's where the story Daniel and all them came from. Daniel was in Babylon, right? Okay, so he says, I was wroth with my people. I have profaned my inheritance. I have gave them into your hand, O daughter of Babel. You showed them no compassion. You made your yoke very heavy on the elderly. Yes. And you said, I am mistress forever, so that you did not take these matters to heart and did not remember the latter end of them. And now, hear this, you who are given to pleasures, who dwells complacently, who says in your heart, I am, and there is none but me. I do not sit as a widow, nor do I know the loss of children. Okay. Jerusalem was his bride. Us being there in the place, we were his inheritance. That place and him, that he was our inheritance, okay? He was our husband. Jerusalem, Yasharal, was his bride. So when he kicked everyone out, his children out, he gave her the certificate of the divorce. She was like a widow. He's telling you that person over there, they're saying that they are intact, that they've been reunited with him in the land, right? That's why he says, you say, I am, and there is none but me. I do not sit as a widow, nor do I know the loss of children. Both of these come to you suddenly in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon you in completeness because of your many witchcrafts, for your numerous, great, potent spells. Spells. Just like I was talking about the letter J and the letter V. The English language, the Latin, all that stuff. They're spelling. That's what they've done. They've lied to us through word, and they've convinced us that this is the name. And when you say that name, you say, Hail Zeus. And that these are the days. You're going to see that too. The days of the Baals. That's why in the beginning of the last chapter it said, Baal has bowed down. And you have trusted in your evil. You have said, no one sees me. Your wisdom and your knowledge have led you astray. And you have said in your heart, I am, and there is none but me. Who's saying that? Who has ever said that? That I am, and there is none but me. Only one. But evil shall come upon you, you not knowing where it arises, and trouble fall upon you, you being unable to put it off, and ruin come upon you suddenly, which you know not. Stand now with your potent spells and your many witchcrafts in which you have labored from your youth. If so be you are able to profit, if so be you find strength. You are exhausted by your many counsels. Let the astrologers, the stargazers, and those who prognosticate by the new moons stand up and save you from what is coming upon you. See, they shall be as stubble, fire shall burn them. They do not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There is not a coal to be warmed by, nor a fire to sit before it. So they shall be to you with whom you have labored, your merchants from your youth. They shall wander each one his own way. There is none to save you. Hear this, O house of Jacob, who are called by the name of Yasharal. And when he's talking to us, he says, those who are called by my name. The reason he's saying who are called by the name of Yasharal, because they say it, and people call them that, and have come from the waters of Yehuda. So they did the waters of Yehuda. Who went to Babylon that Nebuchadnezzar took? He took he took us and his children, Abba's children, into captivity. So that's where it came from. It was like, it would have never happened if his children wouldn't have been taken into captivity and went to Babylon. And then from there, they mixed together, and that was what was created later on down the road. That's why it says from the waters of Yehuda, who swear by the name of Yahuwah and profess the Most High of Yasharal, though not in truth or in righteousness. Those who say they are Yahudim, but do lie. For they call themselves after the set-apart city, and lean on the Most High of Yasharal. Yahuwah of hosts is his name. I have declared the former events from the beginning, and they went forth from my mouth, and I made you hear them. Suddenly I acted, and they came to be. Because I knew that you were hard, and your neck was an iron sinew, and your forehead bronze. Therefore I declared it to you long ago before it came. I made you hear, lest you should say, my idol has done them, and my carved image and my molded image commanded them. You have heard. Look at them all, and do you not declare it? From now on I shall make you hear new ones, even hidden ones, which you have not known. Now they shall be created, and not long ago, and before this day you have not heard them, lest you should say, look, I knew them. No, you have not heard. No, you have not known. No, from of old your ear has not been opened, because I knew that you were indeed treacherous and called a transgressor from the womb. And now look, this might piss you off, but if you are in that system, if you've been celebrating those days, using those names, believing that lie, not thinking about your inheritance, and everything that it has created, all those potent spells and that magic to say, look over here, sleight of hand, say, you know what I mean? That's what a magician does. He says, look over here while I'm doing this over here. That's what them triangles represent. That it represents duality. It's you think you're looking at Yasharal, the Holy Land, and the people, but you're not. You're looking at the dark side. That's why, look what's going on right now. The blatant hypocrisy from all kinds of people, and that's the hoeing that's going on, because like everyone was throwing a fit when Russia was doing what they were doing to Ukraine, and I'm not giving no excuses to anybody. They're all together. It's all a bunch of nonsense. But notice now that this is going on, and look what it's did to just the Christians. A year ago, the Christians, at least they had somewhat of a brain. I mean, they still celebrated all that paganry, but at least they had enough common sense to not sit there and like and try to tell you some bullshit when you and them both know that it's wrong or a lie, like the people on the left did when Trump was running and was president and all this. Now the Christians who say they stand with Israel, that's what they're doing. They have to know that what's going on over there is wrong, but because they've said it, because they give that place their support, they're just like he was just saying, like with the forehead of bronze. They just, like with the forehead of a whore, they're just marching forward in that bullshit, and they're not going to stop. So that is the shame. That's the nakedness that's being uncovered. For my name's sake, I postponed my displeasure, and for my praise, I held it back from you, so as not to cut you off. See, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have chosen you in the furnace of affliction. So what he's saying is, if you've been in a part of that, if you've been part of that system, and I have, I wasn't being refined as silver. He chose me in the furnace of affliction. That's what that is. All that system, that Babylon, it's the furnace of affliction. For my own sake, I do it. For how is it profaned, and my esteem I do not give to another. Listen to me, O Jacob, and Yasharal, my called. I am he. I am the first. I am also the last. Also, my hand has laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand has stretched out the heavens. I call to them. Let them stand together. Okay, right there. That's verse 13 is so massive. He's telling you he made the earth, okay? So when he says, my hand has laid the foundation of the earth, so he's the one that put Yasharal where it was and this place where it was, not the Balfour Declaration, not them people, not the Rothschilds and all them guys. He says, my right hand has stretched out the heavens. What's his right hand? That's the word. That's the Messiah, right? So the heavens is the truth. His word stretched out the truth. I call to them, let the earth and the truth stand together. Do you see? All of you, gather yourselves and hear. Who among them has declared these? Yahuwah has loved him. You hear me declaring? I'm declaring this right now to you. Let him do his pleasure on Babel, and his arm be on the Kasdim. I have spoken. I have also called him. I have brought him, and he shall make his way prosperous. Come near to me. Hear this. I have not spoken in secret from the beginning, from the time that it was, I was there. And now the Master Yahuwah has sent me and his Spirit. Thus said Yahuwah, your Redeemer, the set apart one of Yasharal. I am Yahuwah, your mighty Most High, teaching you what is best, leading you by the way you should go. If only you had listened to my commands, then your peace would have been like a river, and your righteousness like the waves of the sea. And your seed would have been like the sand, and the offspring of your inward parts like the grains of sand. His name would not have been cut off, nor destroyed from before me. Come out of Babel, flee from the Kasdim. Declare this with a voice of singing, proclaim it, send it to the end of the earth, say, Yahuwah has redeemed his servant Jacob. And that's what's going on right now. If you will do this, and you will understand that deliverance is in Zion, the true Zion. That's, just think about this. And what I'm saying is true, and if you go look, you'll see that is the image of the beast. That's not Zion. It's the false Zion. It's meant to drag you. It's the snare. It's the trap that's been set. That's where all the magic, potent spells come from. If that's death, then you should obviously see that the true Zion, coming home to there, is life. That's the land of the living. The dry bones live in the land of the dead, of death, the shadow of death. You see? And they did not thirst when he led them through the deserts. He caused waters from a rock to flow for them. He split the rock and waters gushed out. All you got to do is open your eyes, turn your ears on, see that place for what it is, and everything it has spawned, everything it's created, denounce it, come out of it, come to the truth, and come to your home, to your deliverance. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got to worry about how old you are, what you have to drive, what you have to wear, how much you have to spend. He's going to bring you, and he's going to enrich you. That's why in Psalm 68 it says, if you lie down with the sheepfold, the wings of a dove, which would be you if you're here, are covered in yellow gold, in silver, her feathers in yellow gold. You ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. Do the birds have to save up for what's coming next week? No, they have an abundance. They got more than they know what to do with. But what are we? We're like heathen chickens with their heads cut off thinking about what we're going to do tomorrow. How much more, if he does that for the birds, how much more does he do it for you? The only reason that anyone thinks they have to work and save up and they got to do this, that's for Babylon. So you see, so it all the nonsense, all the spells come from there. You don't have to live that way. You can come home. Just like a bird does, flies in the summertime, goes back up north. All you got to do is come home, and your wings are going to be dipped in gold and silver. You ain't going to need nothing. Do you understand? And all this truth, all them lies that you might not be aware of, you're going to be made aware of all those lies, and that's where the true wealth is. And once you start walking in the light, in the lamp, in the truth and the word, you're going to be a mighty man or woman of the Most High, rich in all and everything you do. Listen to me, O coastlands, and hear, you peoples from afar. Yahuwah has called me from the womb. From my mother's belly he has caused me to be remembered. And he made my mouth like a short, sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver he hid me. And he said to me, you are my servant, O Yasharal, in whom I am adorned. And I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for emptiness and in vain. But my right ruling is with Yahuwah, and my work with my Most High. And now, said Yahuwah, who formed me from the womb, to be his servant, to bring Jacob back to him, though Yasharal is not gathered to him, yet I am esteemed in the eyes of Yahuwah, and my mighty Most High has been my strength. And he says, shall it be a small matter for you to be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to bring back the preserved ones of Yasharal, and I shall give you as a light to the nations. The truth. He's talking to his son right now, to the truth, to be my deliverance to the ends of the earth. Thus said Yahuwah, the Redeemer of Yasharal, their set apart one, to the despised, to the loathed one of the nation, to the servant of rulers. Sovereigns shall see and arise, rulers also shall bow themselves, because Yahuwah, who is steadfast, the set apart one of Yasharal, and he has chosen you. Thus said Yahuwah, in a favorable time I shall answer you, and in the day of deliverance I shall help you. The day of deliverance is when the years of punishment had ended. We're no longer banished from home. No, to the contrary, he's actually whistling for us, telling us to come back home. And I guard you and give you for a covenant of the people, to restore the earth, to cause them to inherit the ruined inheritances, to say to the prisoners, Go out to those who are in darkness. Show yourselves. Let them feed on the ways, and let their pasture be on all bare hills. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither heat or sun shall strike them. For he who has compassion on them shall lead them, even by fountains of water guide them. All you got to do is ask for it, accept it, receive it. Don't fight and buck like these other people do against the truth. And I shall make all my mountains a way, and my highways raised up. See, these come from afar away, and see those from the north and the west, and from the land of Sinim. Sing, O heavens, rejoice, O earth, and break out in singing, O mountains. For Yahuwah shall comfort his people and have compassion on his afflicted ones. You see how it's not literal. Anyone that tells you any of this is literal, don't listen to them. Do the mountains do they really start singing? Does the earth rejoice and the earth break out, or the mountains break out in singing? No, they did. They sang for me because I seen the truth where it was, and I came home. Okay, and that's what you got to do. Sing, O heavens, the truth. Rejoice, O earth. The earth, where the true position of the earth, where Yasharal, where the land of our inheritance truly is. Break out in singing, O mountains. There ain't no mountains over there. They call them mountains, but they're not. These are the mountains over here, the 7 mighty mountains that the word talks about all through it, and it's described. There's descriptions in the word and in Enoch and in Esdras that line up perfectly with what is here. For Yahuwah shall comfort his people and have compassion on his afflicted ones. But Sion says, Yahuwah has forsaken me, and Yahuwah has forgotten me. Would a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? Though they forget, I never forget you. See, the true Sion, she was saying, I'm forsaken. And Abba, Yahuwah said, though they forget, though you guys forget, though I forgot at one time, but I've remembered, all praise to the Most High. He's saying, I never forget you. See, I have inscribed you on the palms of my hands. Your walls are always before me. Your sons shall hurry. Your destroyers and those who laid you waste depart from you. Lift up your eyes round about and see, all of them gather together and come to you. All of us, I came, you guys are going to have to come. Whoever ends up coming, that's who he's talking about. As I live, declares Yahuwah, you shall put on all them as an ornament, and bind them on you as a bride does. For your waste and your deserted places and the land of your destruction shall soon be too narrow for the inhabitants, while those who swallowed you up are far away. The sons of your bereavement shall yet say in your ears, the place is too narrow for me. Make room for me to live. Who's saying that right now? The sons of your bereavement who bereaved you shall say in your ears. She's hearing them. She's hearing it right now. Them say over there, move over, Gaza, Palestine. I need all this room. That's what's happening right there. This place is too narrow for me. Make room for me to live. And you shall say in your heart, who has brought forth these for me? Since I am bereaved and barren and exile and wandering to and fro. And who reared them? See, I was left alone. From where did these come? This is Sion talking to Abba. Thus said the Master Yahuwah, see, I lift my hand up to the nations and set up a banner for the peoples. Set up my banner for the peoples, and they shall bring your sons in their arms. His banners will bring your sons in their arms, and your daughters carried on their shoulders. And sovereign shall be your foster fathers, and their sovereignness your nursing mothers. They bowed down to you with their faces to the earth, and lick up the dust of your feet, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah. Those who wait for me shall not be ashamed. Is prey taken from the mighty, and the captives of the righteous delivered? Yet thus said Yahuwah, even the captives of the mighty are taken away, and the prey of the ruthless is delivered. And I strive with him who strives with you, and I save your children. And I shall feed those who oppress you with their own flesh, and let them drink their own blood as sweet wine. All flesh shall know that I, Yahuwah, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Thus says Yahuwah, where is the certificate of your mother's divorce? You see, whom I have put away. Or which of my creditors is it to whom I have sold you? Look, you were sold for crookednesses, and your mother was put away for your transgressions. When I came, why was there no man? When I called, why was there no one to answer? Was my hand too short to ransom? So what he's saying is who ransomed that place over there with the Balfour Declaration? They did that. He didn't bring them back in truth and righteousness. That's been nothing but unrighteousness and bloodshed and lies. And look what's came from it. Look at it. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing true about it. Nothing. And check this out. I've shown this on here, and you can go look it up yourself. All them guys, not all of them, but the ones that run the country, the ones that ban it, that brandish that flag, they don't even believe in him. They are Kabbalah. They believe in chakras and all that nasty stuff. They teach the doctrine of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's satanic. That's why, do you honestly think that Satan wouldn't do that? That he wouldn't lie to you about where your land of inheritance is and all? And it's all through the word that would happen. And ultimately, the Most High did it. It's the snare. It's the trap. Go through the word and find out anything about that place if it matches up with the word and the truth, and you're going to see that it don't. It's all lies. They've killed people. It's been nothing but nastiness this whole time. And look what's going on right now. That's the snare, and it's getting worse every day. More and more. Like at first with Donald Trump and all that, when that came about, that sucked all the people on the left over to one side, and you seen all the nakedness of their shame, and all you seen who they were, and they got sucked down into the pit. That side's gone now, and he's slowly been separating the wheat from the chaff, and more of the Christians and even the Yasharal people who do say they love his Torah and stuff, they're getting sucked into that trap too. You got to come out of it. And that's why he's saying, or don't I have the power to deliver? You had to follow them through the Balfour Declaration and all this. See, by my rebuke I dry up the sea. I make the rivers a wilderness. Their fish stink, for there is not water, and die of thirst. You see, I clothe the heavens with darkness, and I make sackcloth their covering. He did that, ultimately. He covered the true land. He kicked us out in the beginning. Then he covered it up. He brought the Mormons and everybody back over here. He made that over there. And it was all designed to see who truly loves him, who's really body, who's really following the truth. The Master Yahuwah has given me the tongue of taught ones, that I should know to help the weary with a word. He makes me morning by morning. He wakes me morning by morning. He wakes my ear to hear as taught ones. The Master Yahuwah has opened my ear, and I was not rebellious, nor did I turn away. I give my back to those who struck me, and my cheeks to those who plucked out the beard. I did not hide my face from humiliation and spitting. And the Master Yahuwah helps me, therefore I shall not be humiliated. So I have set my face like a flint, and I know that I am not put to shame. Yes. Near is he who declares me right. Who would contend with me? Let us stand together. Who is my adversary? Let him come near me. See, the Master Yahuwah helps me. Who would declare me wrong? See, all of them wear out like a garment. A moth eats them. Those Nikes, those people who come and say that this stuff ain't, that this stuff is literal and stuff, they come and they run their chops for a few minutes, but soon as the truth comes out, they're gone. Where are they? Do you see them? They're not around anymore, are they? They all leave. They all come. How many of them have came and tried to shut this show down, and eventually, and it usually don't take very long, does it? They're gone. They hightail it out of here. Who among you is fearing Yahuwah, obeying the voice of his servant, that has walked in darkness and has no light? Let him trust in the name of Yahuwah and lean upon his mighty Most High. See, all you who light a fire, girding on burning arrows, walk in the light of your fire and in the burning arrows you have lit. From my hand you shall have this. You shall lie down in grief. And look, the last part there of chapter 50, he was saying the people who've made up their own deliverance, and they've said they're getting twinkled up and raptured, and all they have to do is accept Hail Zeus into their heart and Savior, they're going to be destroyed. And this is why right here. Listen to me, you who pursue righteousness, seeking Yahuwah, look to the rock you were hewn from, Jerusalem, and to the hole of the pit you were dug from. Look to Abraham, your father, and to Sarah who bore you, for he was alone when I called him, and I blessed him and increased him. So what he's saying, you got to do what Abraham did. Abraham had to walk out into the wilderness to go to the land that he promised him, the land flowing with milk and honey, and that's what you're going to have to do. That's what I had to do, and I did it. That's what you're going to have to do. And you're going to be alone. There ain't going to be nobody going to come with you. Maybe one, hopefully, but more than likely, you'll probably be alone. If you're a married man, your wife will probably come with you, but the church ain't coming with you. You ain't going to bring a whole crowd of people. It's just not going to happen. For Yahuwah shall comfort Zion. You see? He shall comfort all her waste places. For he makes her a wilderness like Eden. He makes her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of Yahuwah. Joy and gladness are found in it. That's the only place you're going to find joy and gladness. Thanksgiving, and the voice of a song. What's the song? The song of Moses. What did Moses do? He came to the promised land. The song of the Lamb. What did the Lamb do? Who's the Lamb? The way, the truth, the word, the life. What did he do? He went to Jerusalem. He put the blood on the doorpost. He had the Passover. He got in the house. He gave everything. Listen to me, my people, and give ear to me, O my nation. For the Torah goes forth from me, and my right ruling I set as a light to peoples. My righteousness is near. My deliverance shall go forth, and my arms judge people. There you go. The word judges. The word's telling you right here. You just seen it. The happiness and gladness is in Zion. If you think that you ain't got to go to Zion, to Jerusalem, to find your deliverance, you're going to be judged. Coastlands wait upon me, and for my arm they wait expectantly. Your expectancy. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, to the truth, and the truth is right here in his word. Look on the earth beneath. Use the truth to look on the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish like smoke. All them people who ain't, the truth's gone from them. They can't see it. And the earth wear out like a garment. You see? And those who dwell in it die as gnats. Those who dwell in the lies of the earth, when the heaven has vanished, the truth has vanished, they die as gnats. But my deliverance is forever, and my righteousness is not broken. Listen to me, you who know righteousness, a people in whose heart is my Torah. Do not fear the reproach of men, nor be afraid of their revelings. For a moth eats them like a garment, and a worm eats them like wool. But my righteousness is forever, and my deliverance to all generations. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of Yahuwah. Awake as in days of old, everlasting generations. Was it not you who cut Rahab apart and pierced the crocodile? Was it not you who dried up the sea, the waters of the great deep, who made the depths of the sea as a way for the redeemed to pass over? And let the ransomed of Yahuwah return, and they shall come to Sion with singing, with everlasting joy on their heads. Let them attain joy and gladness. Do you see? Sorrow and sighing shall flee away. I am he who comforts you. Who are you that you should be afraid of man that dies, and of the Son of Man who is made like grass? If you don't come because you're worried about what man's going to think, he's getting at that right there. Like, who of you are afraid of them and not him? Have you forgotten Yahuwah your maker, who stretched out the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and you continually fear all the day because of the rage of the oppressor, as he has prepared to destroy? There you go. The rapture, that's the rage of the oppressor. It was made to destroy you. All that stuff. All Jerusalem, all that place over there, everything that's come from it. It's the rage of the oppressor, and it's prepared to destroy. And where is the rage of the oppressor? There really is none. All you got to do is come, and you're going to be, like I was just saying, on your throne, your wings covered in gold and silver. There is no rage of the oppressor. It's just your fear. The only one that's going to defeat you is you. You ain't got to worry about overcoming no one but yourself. Bowed, he hastens to be loosened, that he should not die in the pit, and that his bread should not fail. But I am Yahuwah your mighty Most High, stirring up the sea, and its waves roar. Yahuwah of hosts is his name. And I have put my words in your mouth, and with the shadow of my hand I have covered you, to plant the heavens and lay the foundation of the earth, and to say to Sion, you are my people. Awake, awake yourself, rise, O Jerusalem. You have drunk at the hand of Yahuwah the cup of his wrath. You have drunk the dregs of the cup of reeling and drained it out. So no more. The days are over. Now that you're seeing this, that lets you know that the punishment is over. It's been drained out. It's time to come home. All the sons she bore, she has none to guide her. And of all the sons she has brought up, none is strengthening her hand. Both these are coming upon you. Who is sorry for you? Ruin and destruction, scarcity of food and sword. How shall I comfort you? Your sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. They don't know where to go. Like a gazelle in a net. They are filled with the wrath of Yahuwah, the rebuke of your Most High. Therefore, please hear this, you afflicted and drunk, but not with wine, with the potent spells, the lies. Thus said your master Yahuwah and your mighty Most High, who pleads the cause of his people. See, I shall take out of your hand the cup of reeling, the dregs of the cup of my wrath. Never again shall you drink it. And I shall put it in the hand of those who afflict you, who have said to your being, bow down, and we pass over you, and you made your back like the ground and as the street to walk over. If you're believing all that stuff from that place, that's what's happening to you. They're walking all over you. You're being destroyed. Now I'm going to wrap it up here because I ain't got much time left, but go through and just read this. Just go start in Isaiah chapter 1. Read it all. Read all of Jeremiah, all of Ezekiel, all of Daniel, all of Zechariah, Nehemiah, Zephaniah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Micah, Malachi, Joel, Job, Psalms, all that. You're going to see the same message. It's saying, awake, awake. Put on your strength, O Sion. Put on your garments of splendor, O Jerusalem, the set-apart city. Set-apart city. Like, look, right here. Like, shake yourself from the dust. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem, O captive daughter of Sion. The voice of your watchmen. They shall lift up their voices together. They shout for joy because eye to eye they see the return of Yahuwah to Zion. Break forth into joy, sing together, you waste places of Jerusalem. For Yahuwah shall comfort his people, he shall redeem Jerusalem. That's this whole, all of Isaiah is about what I'm telling you that it's about. Do yourself a favor, come out of all them lies, understand you gotta come home. Moses and them had to come home. Abraham had to come home. All of them, they all had to come home. And so do you. And if you don't believe that, you're being destroyed from those potent spells, from that wicked place over there. Get on your face. Give all praise, all honor, all glory, all esteem to Abba Yahuwah, the Most High, our wonderful Creator, our righteousness today, while you still have time. You see all that's going on over there. You see that the nakedness, her shame is being uncovered. Don't be caught in that snare. Don't go down that drain. Come home.